Faith is something many people talk about, but what does it really mean? And how can it give us comfort, especially when life is hard or uncertain? These are questions many people carry in their hearts. Today, let us take a moment to think about them deeply. Faith is not about knowing all the answers. It is not about being sure of everything. In fact, faith often begins when we do not know what will happen next. It begins when we feel weak, confused, or even afraid. Faith is the quiet voice inside that says, even if I don't understand everything, I will keep walking. In Buddhism, we say that life is full of change. Nothing stays the same forever. Health can change. Relationships can change. Even our own feelings and thoughts can rise and fall like waves. This can make us feel worried or alone. But faith helps us stay calm in the middle of this change. It is like a steady candle in the wind. The wind may blow, but the light stays. Many people think faith means believing in something outside of ourselves. But true faith also grows inside us. It grows when we take time to be still. It grows when we listen to our heart with honesty. Faith does not always bring quick answers, but it brings peace, and this peace gives us the strength to take the next step. Sometimes we want to fix everything. We want clear plans, strong results, no mistakes. But life is not like that. Life is soft, like water. It flows. It moves. Faith teaches us not to fight the river, but to float with it. When we stop trying to control everything, we can begin to feel safe again. So what does it mean to find comfort in faith? It means learning to rest, even when we do not have everything figured out. It means trusting that we are not alone. And it means remembering that peace is not far away. It is already here, within us, waiting to be noticed. Today, many people live fast and busy lives. There are always things to do. Work, family, bills, messages, news. Our phones never stop ringing. Our minds never stop thinking. We are always moving, always planning. But inside, many people feel tired. Some feel empty. Some feel lost. Why is that? It is because the world outside is loud, but the heart needs quiet. Even if we finish every task and reach every goal, something still feels missing. That something is not a new job, not more money, and not more success. What we often need is spiritual peace. Spiritual peace is not the same as just relaxing. It is deeper than a good vacation or a quiet evening. It is the feeling that we are okay, just as we are. It is a kind of rest that lives inside the heart, no matter what is happening around us. And in a busy world, this kind of peace is more important than ever. When we do not have spiritual peace, we can feel like we are always running. Even when we stop, our minds are still moving. We may feel worried about the future or regret the past. But when we have spiritual peace, we can sit in the present moment and feel calm. We stop chasing. We stop judging. We just are. Some people try to fill the emptiness with more things. They buy more. They eat more. They scroll more. But nothing really helps. That is because the heart is not hungry for things. It is hungry for connection. It wants to feel safe, seen, and still. Spiritual peace grows when we slow down. It grows when we listen, not to noise, but to silence. It grows when we remember that we are part of something greater than our schedules and tasks. We are not machines. We are not only what we do. We are living beings with hearts that need care. In this fast world, spiritual peace is like a soft pillow for the soul. It reminds us that we do not need to be perfect. We do not need to win. We just need to be present and gentle with ourselves. That is enough. That is the beginning of peace. Suffering is part of life. Everyone feels pain. Sooner or later, we lose someone we love. Our bodies get sick. our hearts break. Sometimes we feel fear, sadness, or loneliness, and we don't know what to do. These moments are heavy. They can make us feel small and powerless. In Buddhism, we teach that suffering is natural. It is not a mistake. It is not a punishment. It is simply part of being human. We are born, we grow, we age, and we die. Nothing stays the same. And in this world of change, there will always be times of pain. This may sound difficult, but it also opens the door to understanding. When we accept that suffering is part of life, we don't have to fight it so hard. We don't have to blame ourselves or others. Instead, we can begin to face suffering with open eyes. And this is where faith becomes important. Faith is not a magic solution. It does not take away all pain, but it gives us something to hold on to. It reminds us that we are not alone, even in our darkest times. When we feel lost, faith is like a quiet hand reaching out to us, saying, "Keep going. You are not forgotten." Sometimes, when suffering comes, we ask, "Why me?" That question brings more pain, but faith teaches us a new way to see. Instead of asking, "Why me?" we learn to ask, "How can I grow from this?" Or, "What can this teach me about life?" Faith changes our focus, from pain to meaning. Also, when we have faith, we stop thinking we must fix everything right away. We learn to sit with our pain, without judgment. We allow the storm to pass, without forcing the sun to shine too soon. Faith gives us patience. It gives us space to breathe, even when life hurts. There is a deep peace that comes from trusting that even suffering has a place in the journey. Nothing is wasted. Every tear, every struggle becomes part of our path. And with faith, we can walk that path with courage. Faith does not erase the pain, but it gives us the strength to stay with it, to learn from it, and to keep walking forward with a gentle heart. There are many times in life when we feel small. Maybe we face a problem we cannot solve. Maybe we lose something or someone we love. Or maybe we just feel tired of trying so hard. In those moments, we often feel like we have to carry everything by ourselves. But the truth is, we don't. There is something greater than us. You can call it the universe, the truth, the Buddha's wisdom, or simply life itself. It is something that holds all things together, even when we don't understand it. And when we begin to trust that greater something, we can finally rest. Trust does not mean giving up. It means we stop thinking we must control everything. It means we understand that some things are too big for our hands. Just like we trust the sun to rise, or our breath to come and go, we can learn to trust life, even when it doesn't go our way. Sometimes we think, if I just try harder, I can fix everything. But that kind of thinking brings stress and fear. Life is not always something we can fix. It is something we walk through, step by step. And when we trust something greater than ourselves, each step becomes lighter. This kind of trust grows slowly. It grows when we face hard times and see that we are still here. It grows when we look back and notice how far we've come. It grows when we stop fighting life and begin to walk with it. Even the most painful moments can become part of this deep trust. Trusting something greater also helps us feel less alone. We are not just individuals trying to survive. We are part of a larger story. We are part of the great river of life. And this river carries all of us together. When we forget this, we feel afraid. But when we remember it, we feel peace. So if you feel tired, or if life feels too heavy, try this. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and say to yourself, I don't have to carry everything. Let life carry some of it. Let the great mystery hold you. You are not alone. You never were. Faith may sound like something big or far away. But in truth, faith grows through small, simple things we do each day. It is not always about big ideas or deep study. Sometimes faith grows most quietly, in the way we live our ordinary lives. Think about how a tree grows. It doesn't grow all at once. It grows slowly, quietly, with sunlight, water, and time. Faith is the same. It needs care. It needs attention. And even small moments can help it grow strong. One way to grow faith is through simple routines. When you wake up in the morning, take a moment to pause. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. You are alive. You are here. Say a few quiet words that help you feel grounded, like thank you, or today is a new day. These little moments create space for trust and peace. Another practice is paying attention. When you drink tea or eat a meal, try to really notice it. The warmth, the smell, the taste. These are small gifts from life. When we pay attention to the present moment, we stop rushing. And when we stop rushing, we begin to feel connected to ourselves, to others, and to something greater. Even small acts of kindness can strengthen faith. When we help someone, listen with care, or offer a smile, we are saying yes to the world. We are choosing to trust that love and goodness still matter. These actions may seem small, but they carry great power. Also, it's important to take a few quiet minutes each day to sit and breathe. Not to fix anything, not to achieve anything, just to be. This simple stillness reminds us that life is already enough. We don't need to chase after peace. We only need to make space for it. You don't have to change your whole life to grow your faith. You just need to start noticing. Noticing the moments that bring peace. Noticing the feelings that rise and fall. Noticing that you are not alone and never have been. Simple daily practices, done with care and attention, are like drops of water. Over time, they fill the cup of faith. Slowly, gently. Faith becomes not just something you believe, but something you live. One moment at a time. Many people try very hard to control their lives. We make plans, set goals, and try to avoid mistakes. We want things to go a certain way, and when they don't, we feel upset, disappointed, or even afraid. But life often does not follow our plans. It changes. It surprises us. It brings both joy and loss. So what can we do? One answer is to let go of control. This may sound difficult or even scary, but it is not the same as giving up. Letting go does not mean we stop caring. It means we stop trying to force life to be something it is not. We learn to accept life, moment by moment, just as it is. Letting go begins with the understanding that we are not in charge of everything. We cannot control other people. We cannot stop time. We cannot always protect ourselves from pain. When we try too hard to control everything, we become tense, our minds become busy, and our hearts grow tired. But when we let go, something soft opens inside. We feel lighter. We feel more peaceful. We begin to trust that we don't need to hold everything so tightly. Life will still move forward. The sun will still rise. Our hearts can still find calm. Acceptance is a gentle practice. It is not always easy. Sometimes we feel strong emotions, anger, sadness, fear. Acceptance means allowing those feelings to come and go without judging them and without trying to hide from them. It means saying, this is how it is right now, and that's okay. Letting go also means giving space to others. We stop trying to change people. We allow them to be who they are, even if we don't agree with them. This brings more peace into our relationships. It also brings more kindness into the world. When we accept life as it is, we stop fighting what we cannot change. We begin to live more gently. We stop asking life to be perfect, and we start noticing its quiet beauty, even in hard times. Letting go is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is the deep understanding that peace does not come from control. Peace comes from allowing life to flow, and from trusting that we can walk with it, step by step, with an open heart. Life is not always easy. At some point, many of us will face illness, pain, or great difficulty. It may be a health problem. It may be the loss of a loved one. It may be a long, hard time when nothing seems to go right. During these times, it is easy to feel weak. It is easy to feel lost. But even in these moments, there is strength inside us. It may be quiet. It may be hidden. But it is there. Faith can help us find it. When we are sick or struggling, we often feel that something has been taken away from us. Maybe we cannot do the things we used to do. Maybe we feel afraid of what might happen. Maybe we feel lonely. These are natural feelings. We don't have to pretend to be strong. But we also don't have to give up. Faith helps us to see that our true strength is not in what we can do or achieve. It is not in our health or our success. True strength is in how we meet each moment. It is in our patience. It is in our ability to stay kind, even when we hurt. It is in our quiet decision to keep going, one day at a time. In hard times, it helps to take life slowly. Breathe. Rest. Speak gently to yourself. You don't need to do everything. You only need to be here, as you are. Faith reminds us that we are still whole. Even if we are weak, we are still valuable. Even if we are struggling. Sometimes when we are in pain, we understand life more clearly. We see what really matters. We let go of small worries. We see the beauty in small things. A soft blanket, a kind word, a moment of peace. Hardship can open the heart if we allow it. You are not your illness. You are not your suffering. You are more than what is happening to you. And even in your hardest moments, you are not alone. Faith walks with you, quietly, gently, step by step. Strength is not always loud. Sometimes it is simply the choice to keep your heart open, even when life is difficult. That is a strength no one can take away. Grief is one of the deepest feelings we experience as human beings. When someone we love dies, or when we lose something important, it can feel like the world has changed. The colors become less bright. The days feel longer. The heart feels heavy, and we may wonder if we will ever feel peace again. Grief comes in waves. Some days feel calm, others feel full of tears. There is no right or wrong way to grieve. It is not a problem to solve. It is part of love. We feel grief because we have loved deeply, and that love continues, even after someone is gone. In these dark times, faith can be like a small candle. The room may still be dark, but the candle helps us see. It does not remove the pain, but it helps us find our way through it. Faith reminds us that grief is not the end of the story. When we lose someone, we often feel alone. But faith tells us that we are still connected to the person we lost and to the world around us. Love does not disappear. It changes form. It becomes memory. It becomes quiet strength. Sometimes in stillness, we can feel that connection again. A soft presence, a warm thought, a moment of peace. It also helps to remember that grief takes time. There is no need to rush. No need to pretend you are okay. Faith gives us permission to feel everything. To cry, to remember, to miss, to be quiet. And it also gives us hope that light will return, even if we cannot see it yet. Many people ask, why did this happen? Or, why was this person taken from me? These are natural questions. But sometimes we cannot find the answers. Instead, we can hold the questions gently, with faith. We can trust that even loss has a place in the great journey of life. Faith does not remove grief, but it walks beside it. It holds our hand in the silence. It helps us stand up again when we are ready. And slowly, gently, it shows us that the heart can hold both sorrow and love at the same time. Even in our deepest pain, we are not alone. The light of faith is always near, quiet, steady, and waiting for us to see it. As we grow older, many things change. Our bodies feel different. Our energy may slow down. We may see our families change, our careers end, or our daily routines become quieter. For some, this brings peace. For others, it brings fear or sadness. But growing older can also be a powerful time to grow deeper in faith. In youth, life is often fast. We are busy building, achieving, and proving ourselves. But in later years, we are invited to look inward. We begin to ask different questions about meaning, purpose, and the value of each moment. This is not the end of our journey. It is a deeper part of it. Faith can become stronger as we age, because we have seen much. We have experienced joy and loss, hope and disappointment. We know that life is not always easy, but we also know that we have survived. This gives our faith roots. It is no longer just belief, it becomes wisdom. Many people fear aging because they feel they are becoming less useful. But faith reminds us that our value does not come from how busy we are. It comes from simply being alive, from the kindness we show, and from the calm we can offer others. A quiet smile, a listening ear, a gentle presence. These are powerful gifts. Older years also bring space. Space to reflect. Space to be still. Space to connect with something greater than ourselves. We may no longer run after every goal, but we can walk more deeply into the present. We begin to understand that the most important things are not things at all. They are moments of connection, peace, and love. Sometimes, growing older brings fear of death. This is natural, but faith helps us see death not as an enemy, but as part of life's rhythm. Just as day becomes night and winter becomes spring, life also flows into death, and perhaps into something beyond. Faith helps us meet this truth with calm hearts. Growing older is not just about losing youth. It is about gaining insight, gaining patience, gaining a deeper sense of what matters most. And through it all, faith can be our steady companion, guiding us gently as we walk forward into each new day. Many people think that faith means being perfect. They think that if you have faith, you should always be calm, always be happy, and always know the right answer. But this is not true. Faith is not about being perfect. It is not about having no struggles or no doubts. Faith is about walking a path, one step at a time, with an open heart. Life is full of ups and downs. Sometimes we feel strong and confident. Other times we feel lost or weak. This is part of being human. Faith does not take away these feelings. Instead, faith helps us move through them. It helps us keep going, even when we don't have all the answers. It helps us trust that each moment is part of a bigger journey, even when we can't see where it's taking us. Faith is also about being kind to ourselves. We don't need to be perfect. We don't need to have all the right answers. We only need to try our best, to be honest with ourselves, and to show compassion to others. Sometimes, faith is simply the decision to keep going when we want to give up. It is the strength to stay open when we feel closed off. It is the willingness to learn, to grow, and to keep walking, even when the road is difficult. Perfection is a heavy burden to carry. It makes us feel that we are never enough. But faith lifts that burden. It reminds us that we are already enough. We are enough just as we are. Faith teaches us that there is no need to rush or force things. There is no need to judge ourselves. We are on a path, and it is okay to stumble along the way. What matters is that we keep moving forward, gently, with faith in our hearts. The path of faith is not straight. It has twists and turns. Sometimes we may feel lost. Other times we may feel at peace. But with faith, we learn to trust the journey. We learn to trust that, no matter what happens, we are being guided. And in the end, that is all we need. Faith in the path and faith in ourselves. As we come to the end of our time together, I offer you this simple thought. Faith is not something we must chase. It is not far away. It is already close, like breath, like the warmth of the sun, like the quiet of the evening. We only need to pause, to notice, and to gently return to it, again and again. You don't need special words or special places to stay close to faith. You can carry it with you, wherever you go. In the morning, when you open your eyes. In the afternoon, when life feels too busy. In the evening, when the day becomes quiet. Faith can live in all of these moments. Some days will feel peaceful. Other days may feel heavy or unclear. That is okay. Faith does not mean we always feel strong. It simply means we continue walking, even when the path is soft or uncertain. It means we choose trust over fear, calm over hurry, and presence over distraction. If you ever feel lost, please remember, faith is still with you. It may be quiet, but it is not gone. Sit for a moment. Breathe. Let life be just as it is. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are walking your own path, at your own pace. And that is enough. I am deeply thankful that you spent this time with me. Your presence here means something. Whether you watched just one part or all of them, I hope a small piece of comfort reached your heart. To those of you who have supported this channel, with kind comments, likes, subscribing, and even sending a super thanks, I offer my sincere gratitude. Your support makes it possible to continue sharing these quiet moments of reflection. It is a gift I do not take lightly. May your days be gentle. May your heart stay open. And may faith walk quietly beside you, wherever you are.